Geek Nation. I'm Gabriela Garcia.
And I'm Michael Allen.
We have a great episode. We are going to talk about a new weekly article.
And we have two brand new segments.
So let's get started. Last week we asked you if you were old school. This week we posed the question, are you new school? The weekends here at Geeks give us a chance to look at sports from both opinions. Last week, by how many people read the debut article, Old School Saturday, we can tell we have some old school fans. But on Sunday, we also feature a new weekly article called Cybermetric Sunday, written by Alex Pat. Last week, he looked at the FIP, and this week, the focus will be on war. At Cleat Geeks, the weekends are the time to go to school, at least sports school. This week's Think Tank Trivia. Mark Teixeira is retiring at the end of the season, he recently announced. In his career, he has 404 home runs. How many of them have been walk-off winning home runs? We will tell you a little later in the show.
Football season is back, and that means it's time to start putting together your strategy for drafting your fantasy football team. But before you do, make sure you take a look at the fantasy football section of our website for tons of helpful hints and analysis. This week, we continue to bring you a set of articles letting you know which position players are being taken to high to low by one of our newest writers, Brandon. Last week, we looked at QBs. This week, we will look at running backs. And this coming week, we'll focus to wide receivers.
Now it's time for the Geek Nation Twitter poll question. Last week, we asked you if you could go to only one sports Hall of Fame, which one would it be? 58% said MLB. 31% said NFL, and 12% said NBA. None of you said college football. This week we focus our question on the Rio Olympics, and we asked, do you love sports enough to where you could train every day for 4 years for one shot at gold like our Olympic athletes? So go to our Twitter @_GeekNation_ and let us know.
And let's do a new segment. This week it's called That a Boy. Oh boy. Our That a Boy is Jaime Garcia, first Cardinals pitcher since Harvey Haddix in 1955 to be the winning pitcher and drive in the only run in a 1-0 game.
And our oh boy are the Cleveland Indians. They have allowed 10 plus runs in 4 of their first 5 August games. Yikes. While we're at it, let's do another new segment called Sports Smarts. This is our weekly gift of knowledge to you that when you tell your friends at work or your family around the dinner table, they will say you have sports smarts.
Mike Trout hit his 6th career home run off Seattle starting pitcher Felix Hernandez Friday night, his most off of any pitcher. We're not done there. We need to make you sports smart. This added tidbit will help. 6 home runs is the most King Felix has given up to any one player. But the 2 hitters have hit 6 home runs off of him. The other, Mark Teixeira.
Speaking of Mark Teixeira, our Think Tank Trivia answer to the question we asked earlier, which was, in Mark Teixeira's career, he has 404 home runs. How many of them have been walk-off winning home runs? Surprisingly, the answer is 0.
College football fans, don't forget our in-depth look at the Pac-12 Conference. On Saturday, we will finish up the North Division, take Sunday off, and then start Monday again looking at the South Division. How about we give the fans a little fact or fiction 5? The most 425-foot home runs have been hit at Coors Field, which is 75, with Chase Field being second at 38. Coors Field gives the Rockies an offensive advantage in their home games. Fact or fiction?
That's fact. I definitely think it gives them an advantage. Just look at that number, look at that stat. It's definitely an advantage, so I gotta say fact.
For the next few weeks, I will put another sport on hold and focus on the Olympics. Fact or fiction?
That's gonna be fiction. Nope, all my focus is on baseball right now and preseason football, so yeah, sorry Olympics.
I will draft at least 3 fantasy football teams between now and the start of the regular season. Fact or fiction?
Well, I have to say fiction just because I'm only going to pick one. It's already tough enough to focus all of my energy on one fantasy football team. But yeah, I'm going to play fantasy football. I don't know yet, but so far I only got 1 draft coming up. So yeah, that's iffy. Maybe I'll do 3.
Toronto's J.A. Happ is 22-4 since last August 19th. Therefore, he is the best current starting pitcher in the majors. Fact or fiction?
I'm gonna say fiction. Yeah, I like the guy. He's a great player, and yeah, that his record is outstanding. But I just think there's better starting pitchers out there that just don't get a lot of credit.
Who?
I'm gonna go with Kyle Hendricks. Yeah, some people are gonna say I'm biased. He's just really underrated, and he's great, and he's coming up there with the best of the best. Clayton Kershaw's out right now, and he's just showing that he's got the stuff for the National League.
According to Westgate Las Vegas Superbook, the Patriots have the best odds as a favorite at 7-1 to win the Super Bowl. Will they do just that? Fact or fiction?
Oh, it's tough to say, but I'm gonna say fiction. I don't think they might go to the Super Bowl, but they won't win the Super Bowl. I don't know, I want to see some different faces out there for this year's Super Bowl. But who knows? I mean, they could go all the way again and win this time, but I don't know. It's kind of iffy up there, and I just have to see them play a little bit. Our main Twitter page recently surpassed 5,700 followers. We want to thank each and every one of them. Our goal is 6,000 by September 1st. If we accomplish this goal, then we will do a giveaway for the month of September. Stay tuned here to Geek Nation for more details. But we are doing a giveaway right now. 2 tickets to the NPSL final in Cleveland could be yours. Just follow @CleekGeeks and use the hashtag GeekGiveaway for your chance to win. We would like to thank one of our talented writers, Joseph, as he made the giveaway possible.
This week's Geek Nation conversation is all about the MLB trade deadline and how it affects the playoffs. Who improved their team the most at the deadline?
I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers, but I also want to throw in the Cubs there. Aroldis Chapman, that's crazy, and they're just showing that they mean business. But so do the Texas Rangers in the American League, and also, the Indians getting Andrew Miller. I didn't expect that at all. Who do you think is the most improved?
I gotta say the Cubs. They needed a lot of help with that bullpen, and yes, people will say we're biased, but if you look at that, there's no other team that needed more help than the Cubs did in the bullpen. And yeah, you gave up a lot for Aroldis Chapman, but those players you gave up were blocked and wouldn't have seen major league time in God knows how long.
Yeah.
So it's an improvement, a huge improvement, even though it's just for a short period of time. But adding Joe Smith is huge too. He's funky. Joe Madden even said that he's one of the few sidearm throwers, and people can bash him that he's not good. Oh, he gave up a home run here and there. His ERA is bloated, but no. If you look at his career, he is an excellent bullpen guy.
Yeah, and they definitely need that going into the playoffs. We saw what happened last season, so that was definitely an improvement. But yeah, the Rangers, the Indians, the Cubs, those are the 3 that I see that put all in for this year. So we'll see what happens.
What team surprised you by doing nothing at the trade deadline?
Well, I want to go and stay in Chicago and say the White Sox. I definitely thought they were going to do something in the trade deadline, especially with all that's happened to their team, the injuries, Chris Sale not being as good as he was last year. They should have, just done what the Yankees were doing and did a fire sale, did some crazy stuff. But yeah, I was just really surprised they didn't do anything. But who knows, someone might be fired at the end of the season.
Which current second place division team in the NL has the best shot at the wild card berth? Miami, St. Louis, Los Angeles?
I'm going to go with Miami.
Why?
They're crazy good. I mean, I saw what they did to the Cubs when the Cubs were in Miami. Yeah, I'm just going to have to say them. They have great pitching, and they have great bats. I mean, their defense is a little iffy, but to get there, I mean, you got to have good pitching. So I definitely think they could do it. Now I'm going to ask you, which current second place division team in the AL has the best shot at a wild card berth? Toronto, Detroit, or Houston?
Houston, I don't think's gonna make it. I really don't. Toronto's up there with, getting Batista back. He's healthy now. That's a big plus. So getting back to the playoffs is what Toronto wants. Detroit and then AL Central is crazy, going up, down, and
But
all
they've been
around.
winning lately.
Yeah, they have been. So, I don't want to think it's safe to say that Cleveland is safe. I don't say that Detroit can win the second spot. Who knows? The White Sox may surprise people. Kansas City, even though they have the worst winning percentage to reach the World Series, someone's going to come as a shock. So I don't know who to say for that. So if I had to pick out of those three, I definitely have to say Toronto.
All right. So the game of baseball, every day you get a new chance to win. It doesn't matter if you lost the day before. So with that being said, there is always a team that falls apart down in the stretch in baseball. Of the 6 current division leaders: Baltimore, Cleveland, Texas, Washington, Chicago, San Francisco. Which one do you believe is the most likely to not make the postseason?
San Francisco. That hands down San Francisco. Screw the even year thing. It's fake. I don't believe in superstitions or anything like that. But they're cocky. They are. That whole team is cocky. The coach is cocky. Your front office is cocky. Just because it's an even year. Look at what they did coming out of the All-Star break. It shows that they're not posed to be a World Series team this year. I don't think they're going to win their division, and I don't think that they're going to go to the playoffs. I think the Dodgers are going to take over, and the Dodgers are going to move on, and it's just going to show that the Dodgers aren't always this close to the next step. This year, they're going to go far into this playoff.
Well, you took my answer. I was also going to say the Giants. Yeah, I don't believe, that ear crap thing, whatever they got going on over there. I don't believe that either. Yeah, they got hot, and then it just stopped, and it's just falling down. Yeah, they win games here and there, but they weren't as hot as they were before the break, and everyone's like, oh, the Cubs better watch out in the National League, but what's happening now? They got Hunter Pence back, but it still doesn't seem to matter. Well, we talked a lot of baseball in this episode, so let us know your thoughts. Agree with us, disagree with us, especially on that Geek Nation conversation. I know people get riled up with that stuff, so let us know. But that's going to do it for us on this episode. I'm Gabriela Garcia.
And I'm Michael Allen.
We'll see you guys next week.